David and David here. Out of the box, your iPhone comes with a bunch of pernicious settings turned on that most of all will drain your iPhone's battery life. If you liked our video, 7 iPhone settings you should turn off now, you'll like this one because we got a few new ones to talk about.
Right, things have changed, especially since the last video. We realized that some of the settings, even if they're the same settings, have moved to different places. Yep. Let's dive in.
I'll open the settings app on my iPhone, scroll down, and we're going to start in privacy. Tap privacy. At the top of the screen, tap location services and scroll down to system services. There's a purple arrow right there.
What does that mean?
Bad sign already. It means that an app or service is currently used in your location or has very recently used your location. So I'm gonna tap on system services. We've got a lot of switches turned on by default. We want to turn off most of them.
We sure do. Apple Pay merchant identification off. Cell network search off. Is this still going to search for cell networks and connect to them?
Yes.
Yes. Most of these settings, like setting time zone, cell network search, networking, and wireless, all of these things have to do with adjusting the way that your iPhone's antennas work when you go to other countries. So unless you're going to other countries, turn these things off.
So the ones we're actually going to recommend leaving on, let's turn off that, leave on emergency calls and SOS, leave on Find My iPhone HomeKit. Turn it off. Location-based alerts, suggestions, motion calibration and distance, turn that off. Networking and wireless, turn that off.
This talks about ultra-wideband. Apple recently released with the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 a U1 chip, and that is GPS at the scale of your living room, their words, not ours. Meaning that if I want to airdrop to somebody, I can point my phone at David's phone, and then David will be the first person that appears on that list. If you're in a busy office, I can see how that would be helpful because you might get airdrop suggestions with a whole bunch of people. But if you're not, turn this off and save battery life.
I'll just tap turn off. Setting time zone, I'll turn that off. Share my location. I don't use it.
Okay.
System customization off and Wi-Fi calling. Turn that off. Wi-Fi calling will still work.
You got to ask yourself, are you traveling to a different country where Wi-Fi calling is calibrated differently? That's the only reason to leave these things on. It has nothing to do with the actual Wi-Fi calling where you live.
Next, let's talk about significant locations. Go ahead and tap on that. Here you'll see a list of places you visit often that Apple saves using your location, draining battery life. A little bit weird. I get a little weirded out when I see this. I didn't even remember going to Queensbury, New York, but then I looked up on the map and I was like, oh yeah, I was there. It's kind of weird that Apple remembers and I don't.
Yeah.
So
well, nobody remembers if they go to Queensbury, New York, David.
So just tap the switch at the top of the screen to turn off significant locations and tap turn off. If you want to clear this history list, just tap clear history here on the screen.
Right.
Next, let's tap back in the upper left-hand corner of the screen and scroll down here to product improvement. Go ahead and turn all these off.
Only if they're paying you. If Apple's paying you to help improve their products, leave it on. But for me, can improve their own gosh darn traffic.
Yeah, we are not fortunate enough to be being paid by Apple.
Right, and but we'd love to be, hey, I'll turn these on. Improve maps. There's no way that my iPhone's location is gonna do enough to make Apple Maps as good as Google Maps. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna work.
Well, maybe you should turn it on and help them improve their maps.
Maybe I'm the reason why their maps aren't as good.
Perhaps.
I don't think so.
In the upper left-hand corner of the screen, let's tap back. And here we're on the main page of location services. The next thing you want to do is look through your list of apps and look specifically for the word always. This means an app always has access to your location and it can drain your battery really fast. For example, I turned on DraftKings location setting up for a video. I drove back up I-87 and during that drive, DraftKings used my location 32 times.
Right, that's incredible. They're just always checking to see where you are.
Not necessary. I'm not entering contests while I'm driving my car.
That's good.
So I'll tap on DraftKings, for example. They only need your location while you're actually using the app and entering contests. I'm gonna switch that to while using the app.
Yeah, pretty much everything from always switch it to while using the app, you're gonna save battery life.
Yeah, I'll tap back one more time. One other example I wanna point out is CEFQ. CEFQ always has access to my location. Not necessary, but you wanna be wary of maybe apps that aren't as well developed accessing your location.
And you may not know what CEFQ is, weirdo. CEFQ is David's bank.
Yes.
Local credit union. Why would they always need access to David's location?
To show nearby ATMs.
I guess always, but that would be while using the app. I have no idea why they always need his location. I think that, as David said, it was just a development team that didn't know what they were doing.
So I'm gonna tap never here, they don't need my location.
Let's get into something kind of controversial here, personalized ads. And it's been amazing the amount of pushback we've gotten from people who want to see ads that are tailored to them. Let's dive in.
Yeah, so I'll tap back, upper left-hand corner of the screen, tap back to privacy, scroll down here to Apple advertising.
Personalized ads. If you want to see information about yourself, you can tap on View Ad Targeting Information. But in my experience, there really isn't a lot of stuff in there, if anything, but they are still targeting me. Personalized ads. People think, okay, if I turn this off, I'm going to see all these really low quality, crappy ads. But that's not necessarily true, because just because they can't tell that you went to the Airbnb app and now you're playing a game and you see an advertisement for the same exact place, or Amazon, the same products, doesn't mean that you're not going to get relevant ads at all. It just means that they're going to use other targeting criteria, like if you're on an iPhone help website, you're going to see ads about iPhone batteries, not about Cancun if you wanted to go to Cancun. So a lot of the time, I like to just turn this off because I still see ads, but they're almost more relevant to what I'm looking at. And then Airbnb isn't like trying to target me, because a lot of the times I go on that website and I just want to go someplace, but I don't really want to spend the money.
Also, if advertisers have less information about you, that you become less valuable to them, they may actually target you less.
Exactly. You may see fewer ads.
So
they won't tell you that.
Long story short, turn off personalized ads. And while we expect to get a lot of comments about that, that's fine.
Calm down.
Yeah, why would I want to see crappy ads? This is not what's going to happen.
Next, let's tap back to privacy in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. One above Apple advertising is analytics and improvements.
It's amazing how much data is constantly being sent from your iPhone to Apple and other app developers. And what's funny is that they keep building in new switches here when they get caught doing something they shouldn't, like the improved Siri and dictation thing.
Yeah.
They were just sending people's conversations to their servers for analysis.
Yeah.
But now you can opt out of that.
Yeah.
So every time you do this, you just remember, like, improved Siri and dictation, the only way that's going to happen is if they send audio files from your phone to their servers. That's going to use battery life.
So I'll just tap the switch. Also turns off data collection on your Apple Watch. 2-for-1 tip there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start turning off these switches. There we go. The last thing in privacy, let's tap back in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, scroll all the way up and tap on tracking. This is the allow apps to request to track. Allows apps to ask to track your activity across other companies' apps and websites. It's a bit of a mouthful.
You know who doesn't like this setting, David?
Facebook.
Facebook does not like this setting, because whenever you open Facebook app for the first time after you update your iPhone, it's going to say, hey, Facebook would like to track you everywhere you go and a bunch of other scary stuff, and then you have to opt into it now. It's not just automatically turned on for Facebook.
And nobody's going to say yes to that.
Nobody's going to say yes to that. Yeah, Facebook would like to see everything about what you're doing online so that they can sell you as a product to their advertisers. When you see ads, it is Facebook selling you, selling traffic to advertisers. If you're not getting a cut of that, I would turn this off.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. That's it for the privacy section of the settings app.
But wait, there's more!
The next thing we're gonna talk about is in-app ratings and reviews. I'm sure most people watching this video have downloaded an app for the first time, opened it for the first time, and the first thing they see, can you write us a review? How many stars would you give us? And it's like, I don't know, I haven't used the app before.
I know, yeah, how am I supposed to do this? Also, have you ever done it? I've done it like twice.
I usually say no.
Yeah, I say no as well. I think most people do.
I'll tap back to privacy in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, back to settings, one below privacy, you see App Store. Tap on that and look for in-app ratings and reviews. Help developers and other users know what you think by letting apps ask for product feedback.
Right, turn that switch right off. You can always go and leave a review for an app if you feel so inclined, but now it's on your terms. You're not going to see that annoying little pop-up. I like to turn this feature off.
And now, in a cruel twist of irony, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It's kind of like an in-app rating and review, but
it's more like an in-video rating and review.
Yes.
Absolutely, please do.
Would help us a lot.
Only 4% of people subscribe. Please subscribe.
Yes, the next thing we're gonna talk about is push mail. I'm gonna tap back to settings, upper left-hand corner of the screen, and scroll down here and tap on mail. Then tap accounts, and then tap fetch new data. Right now I have mail set to push.
Right, one of the biggest battery drainers on iPhone. With push on, your iPhone is constantly asking, is there mail, is there mail, is there mail, to the mail server. But with push mail off, your iPhone will choose how often to fetch the mail from the server.
Yep.
So for most people, every 15 minutes to check, or whenever they open the mail app, is more than often enough.
Yeah, so I'll turn off the switch next to push at the top of the screen, and then I'll set every 30 minutes. I gotta do a lot of email on my iPhone anyway. The next thing we wanna talk about is background app refresh. This lets apps download new content in the background of your iPhone, so the next time you open your app, it's a bunch of fresh content in front of you.
Right, do you open all of your apps every single day? I certainly don't. Do I want all of those apps that I never open always downloading content in the background, which is gonna drain my battery and also use cellular data? I don't think so. So you might want to have this on for one or two apps. Let's choose.
Yep, I'll tap back to accounts, upper left-hand corner of the screen, back to mail, back to the main page of the settings app. We're gonna scroll up and tap General. And then we're gonna tap Background App Refresh. First thing to do, tap on Background App Refresh at the top of the screen. Do you want cellular data to be used by apps to download new content in the background of your iPhone? Probably not.
Nope.
We recommend choosing Wi-Fi. I'll tap back, and here's a list of all your apps that can download new content in the background of your iPhone. I think by default, it is all of them.
Yeah, it is all of them. For instance, Notes. Notes might be a good one because you want Notes to be able to download the notes so that when you open the Notes app, it's not gonna have to load a list of 100 if you haven't opened it in a while. But a lot of things like Facebook could be downloading all sorts of stuff in the background. Instagram, images, anything like that, you might wanna just turn off. Anything that's a messenger type of an app, you might wanna leave on if that's a concern for you.
Yeah, so just go through this list and find what works for you.
All right, you'll save battery life, you'll save cellular data. The cost of this is maybe having to wait a second or two when you open the app for it to download.
Yeah.
I turn them off, it's totally turn most of them off.
And those are some iPhone settings you should turn off now. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel.
We would really, 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 really appreciate it if you would subscribe.
And then share this video with 9 of your friends. Tell them to share it with 9 of their friends, like a pyramid scheme. People at the top get all the subscribers.
That's not a pyramid scheme, David. That's multi-level marketing.
Totally different things.
Totally different.
Using a multi-tiered multi-level marketing Invigoron system, multi-level.
Invigoron, yeah.
Cool. All right, great.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.